Previously on...
Danganronpa.
I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Is it because Chihiro was her lover? Well, this is gonna be a fucking weird dance around we're gonna have to do. It, literally like the fucking entire room's on fire, and we gotta find the like 3 squares that isn't gonna burn us. Okay.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the last trial. We've all just learned the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there. Yes, well, I don't know her reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was trans.
I think Chihiro was trans. Lucky. I wish I was trans. The thought that had never occurred to me.
And because the victim was male, she would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room. Assuming her handbook did in fact list her gender as male, then yes, that would be true. Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through. So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room. It was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room. Okay, yeah, okay, that checks out. So, Chihiro was really killed in the boys' locker room. I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible. Okay, this also makes, like, the Chihiro didn't want to come out as trans to everybody, and that is why she was like, I can't work out with the girls who I want to work, like, it just can't. I am not able to get into the locker room unless I figure something out. Like, that does... Anyways, I believe what the game is actually pointing towards is that she wanted to become more buff so she could be more masculine and pass, yada yada yada. Anyways, a girl just wanting to work out for the sake of working out, as we've established with Hina and Sakura, is a pretty normal thing.
Yes. This we know.
Whatever. I'm giving the game more... I'm jumping through hoops I don't need to jump through.
No, you are inserting a headcanon that is sadly simply not there. But yes. I'm not going to be like, Tony, your headcanon is wrong. You need to look at this dog shit instead. You need to, like... there are many things wrong with Ace 2, but this is probably the worst thing that is wrong with Case 2 that is a standalone problem.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew she felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to her female body. This is a most titillating situation. So now everything has been connected, all the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever, we still think you're the killer, remember?
Huh, very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Ah, well, he's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya is the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all. What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place? He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too, how can I put it, overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it would connect him to the murder. At least that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then, again, when you found out that Chihiro was trans, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So, that's your thinking. Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I'm not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth. Well, I find it very hard to believe. Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us. Okay, I just thought of... Holy shit. I think it's Mondo because... And, like, his motivation was that he made a promise to a girl. And then he was so offended. That's what I'm going with. That is what I am thinking the stupid motivation is. Cool. So, I will give you permission to make Mondo transphobic. That is up for you as an actor to decide to go with. If you
What are you talking about? I'm a feminist!
If you're uncomfortable with that, feel free to not make him transphobic. And especially if I'm wrong.
I'm a feminist. I refuse. Oh, God. But before we move on to the rest, now that we're done with fucking Byakuya being like, ooh, I'm not the killer. How do you feel about that? Him just, yeah.
I love it because of this fucked up weird universe. Like, that's why. Because he is this... We are in a world where he is this affluent prodigy that is going to become part of the world secret society order that controls all things. For him to be like, yeah, I was just messing with you guys. Like, that's awesome. That's crazy. It's wild. How are you doing that?
Yeah, I really like this too, especially because he's legitimately does not fucking care what's going on, right? Like, he's like, oh, fuck you guys, I'm adding more mystery to this fucking murder. Get fucked. Where he's just, like, deliberately being a dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is an interesting part to this case. However, some people's problems with it is it's padding out, like, a lot. Like, it took us so long to get to some of the more obvious revelations because we played his little game that he wanted us to play.
Which
and
is such... Yeah. It's such a... Like, wow. He wants to abuse his power that much that he's like, the worthless Makoto. I'm gonna go out of my way and give this simpleton all these nice hints so he can have some crumbs to play with. How generous of me.
And I like that really well too. However, in the corner, Kirigiri is like, I have the answer to the case. I'm just gonna let this happen. I have the answer to this entire case. I'm just gonna let this happen.
Which is what she did in the first case.
Yeah, it's just it mind boggles me because like she is a Deus Ex Machina. Why do you have this as a character?
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about it in the sense of what does it say about her character?
I mean,
and once again, maybe it's Tony giving the game too much credit. Maybe the reason that she's like that is going to be really fucking bad. But I'm interested in it.
That's fair. It's just, that was like a problem. I was like, what? Why is Kirigiri like not involving herself, letting us do the stupid shit? It boggles my mind because whenever games do this, because games sometimes do this for padding purposes, it's annoying because it's literally like, we have the answer, but we're not going to tell you because we want you to read the story that does not matter. But like for Byakuya, it does matter because you get to know that he's kind of fucked in the head and he's fucking doing stupid shit to ruin everybody else's lives. But he's like, I don't fucking care. But yeah, we can continue on. I like talking about the case during the case for what we can, and giving us time before we have to read more transphobia. Anyways, if you're really telling the truth, then why? Why'd you do that to his body?
Her body.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, again, I will be reading the text and I will forget some... But yeah, why would you do that to her body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more. We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here. That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight, count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something? Anyway,
a beautiful woman just tells me to change my opinion, and I do.
This is true. This is Tony. Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be so sure that we know about the killer. The three genders. Girl, guy, and genocider Jack, or Jill.
You got that fucking right.
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Oh shit! Then that means Toko is a part of the LGBT. She's non-binary, or at least genocider Jill is. No, yeah, Toko's still straight.
Cishet.
Yeah, cishet. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Okay, it has to be I was gonna list every guy but me and Tagami. Because I'm not a guy.
There isn't a single clue that might lead us to who did it. Well, clues are one thing, but nobody got a look at the killer.
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would get something right now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah, all we need right now is any kind of new info. It's over, all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer, and only the killer. And it's not like there's just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man, game over. Yeah, no, not game over.
Okay, so we should use Celeste's account on and only the killer. Or do we use it on any kind of new info? Because Celeste could be the killer. I don't know how, because we just said it has to be a guy, but... Whoa, it ends up that Celeste is also trans! Whoa!
Is anybody trans? And is anybody else trans that I don't know about? Everybody raises their hands except for Genocider Jill and Tagami. King Mondo just shows off his scars from transitioning.
Amazing. Oh my god. There we go. Why did they do the spinny one? Evil. I hate being able to read dialogue in my dialogue-based game.
Dude, I hate being... I hate that the dialogue is, like, it has a transition animation from a fucking PowerPoint slide. It's set on random. No, that's wrong!
I'm laughing. I'm just laughing at my own. Ends up Celeste is trans.
Yeah. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. She was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see her.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises. Whatever, just hurry up and tell us. It was last night, right before nighttime, I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw her stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assume she headed off to exercise. A track jacket and a duffel bag, but we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene. It was likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence. And that's when she said something that struck me as rather odd. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry. Chihiro told me she was in a hurry. But why would she be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for her, I should think.
So, Mrs. Fujisaki was on her way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited her to exercise with us plenty of times, and she always declined.
Probably because she was afraid you'd find out the secret she was hiding, right?
Which means that, conversely, she must have trusted whoever she was meeting up with very much. Enough so that she was willing to risk her secret being revealed. What a marvelous friendship.
The point is, whoever she met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta find out. who it was. Knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is. Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of those items, and it should become obvious who is waiting for her. Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What, you want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it. As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from. Maybe we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of badass like that.
But fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bag in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special. Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket? Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket she took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe.
I mean, I'm lost at the moment, so... First, of all we know where Chihiro is headed, she was on her way to exercise. So next we have to ask, why did she choose the specific tracksuit that she did? What do you mean, specific tracksuit? I got it! She picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So what you're saying is, the killer is wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black. I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks. I have a white tracksuit. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of you really help us getting closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way, not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it.
Are you saying there's something off about what someone just said?
Yep. Is that too late? No. Okay, so... So I'm taking a bullet. Because it's not any of these. Match the one the culprit was wearing. Same blue. Oh. Oh, is it left click to absorb it? Yeah. Oh, okay. I right clicked instead.
No way, not a chance.
Okay, so if Yashihiro got it from the warehouse, it would also be blue, is what I'm going with. So I need to pick up blue and shoot it at this one.
So this has been said. They do come in multiple colors.
They do come in multiple colors. Shit. Okay.
Do you want a little hint here?
Yes, please.
The tracksuit is missing, right?
Right.
But we've never seen the tracksuit.
Fuck. Okay. So, then I'm shooting it at blue tracksuit. But what am I shooting? Am I shooting Celeste's account because it doesn't have the color of the... Yeah, okay, so I'm shooting Celeste's account because it doesn't have the color of the tracksuit in it. Just double checking that. Stuffing... No, so Celeste did mention that it was blue.
But did she mention it right now?
Probably not. Wait, so does Celeste's account.
No, that's wrong!
Okay, so I'm gonna I will ooh, nice little lag right there. I'm gonna major flaw on like just the game to in the evidence that I'm shooting counteract the evidence that I'm shooting at.
Yeah.
Semi-related, I like that in Of the Devil, when there are different perspectives, like people know this versus Morgan knows this, it's separated. Like it's in Morgan text versus in everybody knows this text.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like, anyways, whatever. I appreciate my helpful derp here to help me.
Of course. I was also gonna say, love, like, focus on one of the letters that aren't in the colorful text, because yeah, the same is what's very important there, because it's like, well, yeah. How would you know? Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say? Huh? What did I say? When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said... You guys remember like 2 seconds ago? I don't. She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit? What are you? You just...
Hey Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit? As a matter of fact, it was blue.
Yeah, if it wasn't in the truth bullet, it would be so much easier. It's like, yeah, Celeste would know, right? Like, yeah. And before we begin the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you. Then Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation. No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation. But then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is because he saw the cherry with it before she died. That's the only possibility.
Harry, are you talking about Chihiro?
So how about it? Did you see the tracksuit, or didn't ya?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. She walked past me and she was carrying the tracksuit in her hands. No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into her briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen the color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave. Perhaps, but you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit. It'll be obvious who he met with. A bunch of nonsense. Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge. That's right. I totally knew. Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Uh-huh. And this is why she's such a great character to have in a murder mystery. Oh. Sorry, I'm getting tired because the plot was already solved for me. But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. Am I answering this for you, Yuri? Okay. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude, for girls it's chick. And after she was killed, you happened to refer to her as a dude. I did notice that! Oh my god!
Okay, that's a very weird, because it doesn't happen that much. I was looking for Mondo saying that, right? Like, in chapter 1. Mondo doesn't say that except for, like, 3 times.
I noticed that! Obviously, I didn't think anything, like, I didn't notice that Mondo, like, all I noticed was Mondo using dude to refer to Chihiro. That's all I noticed. I didn't think anything of it, because dude is... Hey, hit people that might hear this. Unless a trans woman says they're fine with you calling them dude, don't call them dude. And like, yeah, so, like, dude just so frequently used for, that's why I didn't think too much about it, but I was like, weird. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch. You're positively frightful. No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro? I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I've been putting words in my mouth. It gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal!
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation. It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Fumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence? Really? What kind of evidence? Yeah. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant. Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man, just tell us. If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up. You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... Got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it. Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right? Well, that's what I was hoping for, but it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence about the murder. That's odd. I don't think the handbooks were quite so fragile. You're right, they're not! They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one. And yet, this one does appear to be broken. As is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. And for all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate. Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation. Maybe it had some kind of bug you could exploit.
Too bad for you, but these things have been debunked to hell and back. We can't afford a recall.
Well, I guess I should just delete that possibility of a bug then. Looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone.
Hey man, that's okay.
Got it. You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
What? You remember that? Yeah, maybe I let it slip. I never told anyone what the peak point actually was. But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it? You're asking me? I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial. But if I tell you and someone else decides to copy it, that would not be very good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? And allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for very long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it! You knew it? Yeah, 'cause I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you didn't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in the sauna, make sure to keep nice and still. Wow, interesting! I I learned one new fact today. This game's awesome.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge. Anyway,
Anyways, okay, whatever. Come on, I gotta get back to this.
if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
I mean, the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how did they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right? Indeed, quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident? What do you mean, by accident? What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They realized it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it. I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did it. Whoa, seriously? I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was... Who might have broken their handbook into the sauna? Really, it could have only been one person.
Plot-relevant sauna scene.
Got it. I love plot-relevant homoeroticism. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it? What?
Why do you keep on accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform's pockets. When it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could really easily destroy it.
No, wait. Hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill... I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Oh my god.
This is what you get for picking difficult logic.
Let's test Mondo's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook. In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See, look! Makoto was wrong, after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
I don't want to believe Mondo might actually have killed someone. But I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Works just fine. Huh. Oh my god, keep those up. What is card reader? So I'm gonna
Card readers to the gym doors.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna double check what Hana's account was. Yeah. I saw somebody. Okay. Go on, 5-minute timer. Keep on going down.
And I don't want to.
3 bullets. Here's the girls. Come on, scroll down. Scroll down. It's not scrolling. Ah, there we go. That's probably not relevant. So the card reader. What was wrong?
But I'm perfect.
You are perfect, Makoto. Nope. You think you have some proof that contradicts what I said?
Boy, do I look stupid.
Oh. Hey, I'm a little bit silly sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours? The fuck's that supposed to mean? The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right. The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it. So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's. Yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student. But if you're dead, you're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit, but no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but... Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell me he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay then, why don't we look back on this case one more time from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong. This is probably not...
Look how cute she is.
Yeah. This is probably not going to do wonders on my relationship with Taka.
So let's Sharing the duffel bag and the clothes. I remember scrolling easier. Yeah, I guess it was just like that.
There's something everyone has that you need to get into the locker room. Which locker room did Chihiro go into?
The boys one.
The weapon the killer used was...
Dumbbell.
As the murder took place, some blood splattered into something, didn't it?
The poster.
Well,
this should
look
be
at that again
switched to
real
this.
quick. What?
No?
Something got splattered. I mean, the dumbbell was already something. Something got splattered onto something, didn't it? Remember, there are more than just these. You were on the right track, just different thing.
Okay, so this is switching places.
That's putting something there. That's, yeah.
This is the face.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And this dumbbell goes here.
I think so.
Yeah. Switched around the carpet and, well, took it down. Yeah. Moved to the girls' room.
The killer took something from the other locker room and switched it at the scene of the crime. This is where I think the...
Wait. So this is where this one goes?
Yes. What was it that Byakuya saw? Sorry, I looked away for a second. What was it that Byakuya brought to the murder? It could have only been...
Okay, so that's a rope.
Well...
Oh, there we go.
When Byakuya arrived on the scene, what did he use to disguise what had happened?
Which might be this rope, but... Use to disguise it. Oh, the blood.
Where did the killer go after they were done?
The sauna.
When the handbook got thrown into the sauna room, what happened to it?
It exploded. Is this the handbook?
It turned into a dumbbell. Yeah, that's the handbook. First, let's take a look back to the before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Whoa, the game correctly gendered her.
Wow, that was great job, game. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Monokuma was transphobic. Simple, because Monokuma was transphobic. Which is why she was able to use her own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, she met with someone there, and the person she met was the one who killed her. It seemed likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked her. And that's where the bloodstain on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment the body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act, first pulling up the blood-stained carpets, then removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much of a problem. That's exactly how the killer did it. The carpet and the poster they'd brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys and girl locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
I like to be a little bit silly around here, guys.
People are dying.
Yeah, but nobody important.
Are you saying trans lives don't matter? That's really problematic.
Not if the trans person doesn't have money.
Fuck. I don't have any money though.
Yeah.
Celeste took all my Monokuma coins. Do I not matter? I give the puppy dog eyes.
Oh shit. Oh shit, man. Oh, dude.
Chick, actually. I don't like dude.
Oh. What about girl?
You have to ask. You have to ask if they're okay with it. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went back and grabbed the extension cord from the library. And then the asshole got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and the other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killers expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Iwata?
No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo is the killer that already revealed itself earlier in the trial. All I have to do is check that one item of his and everything will become clear.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Oh. Of course. I love my rhythm game in my... Oh, that's so cool that the battle is against Taka instead.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, Mondo doesn't care enough about defending himself, but Taka is so... like...
Yeah.
Like, no! My friend who I have my masculine bond with!
My friend who is a boy.
There we go. This... I like it. There we go. I figured it out. I figured out the strategy. Derp.
Nice.
You can hit space mode just to win. Because I haven't set the gentle. Let's go.
Hell yeah. If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, well... We don't gotta do that. Huh? Yeah. I did it. I killed her.
Hello, this is Tony, and thank you very much for watching. In the description, you can find links to my Ko-fi, and also links to information if you would be interested in commissioning me, whether that be for voice work, PNG tubers, GIFs, or whatever else you might be interested using my talents for. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.